Is the show starting? Still hearing the music. Oh, there it is. Whoa, we're off to a great start. Hello and welcome to Phase Hero. I'm Jamie Jarek and I'm here with Aaron Perrine.
What's going on, Jamie?
Oh, it's going to be a fun one today. We don't have Brandon or Jenna today, which means probably pure chaos, but Brandon's behind the scenes, so we'll see what happens. I'm excited. I want to shout out everybody in the chat. They're already popping today, talking about a big trailer that dropped today. Thank you guys all for being here live. Aaron and I are going to try to make this as fun for you as possible. Today's show, we got so much going on. A piece of exciting movie news, some Spider updates across several Spider-Verses, words about Doomsday, some DC updates from James Gunn and Zack Snyder too. Plus, of course, the Lanterns trailer is here, which means we're having a big reaction time. We want to hear all of your reactions in the comments. The chat is going crazy already about this Lanterns trailer. Aaron, are you excited about today?
I am excited. I am super pumped to talk about Lanterns and everything else. I see a lot of familiar faces in the chat. Hannah, let's see here. I got a whole bunch of folks. Null V, Troy, golly, there's Will. Everybody's in the chat. Like, I thank you guys for being here. We're gonna get into all that fun stuff, but it would only be right. We have Jamie Drack here. So there is absolutely something we need to talk about here on Wednesday, March 4th, and that is, Jamie, National Treasure 3 is moving forward.
What? It just makes sense. Why has it taken this long? I mean, it's been a long time since National Treasure 2.
It has been an eternity since National Treasure 2.
Nick Cage just said in a million, he gets asked about this all the time. And he's always like, yeah, if Disney would be smart about it, let's go. So, it's funny because, of course, I'm the person, like, the Nick Cage fan, so I'm hyped about this. But when I think of Nick Cage, National Treasure is like the 14th thing that comes to mind, which I know, I feel like for a lot of people our age, it is kind of the thing.
Yeah.
And is it for you? Like, how is it like? Because Disney, what do you think? Or do you think of him when you think of National Treasure, or vice versa?
Well, I'm your friend, so there's a bunch of other things that get brought up before we get to National Treasure. But it is one of those things where, in an age where everything gets a sequel and everything else, it is curious that there has been no National Treasure 3. I feel like we're collecting all of, like, the Jamie, like, would-be preteen, early teen movies like Infinity Stones getting sequels. Like, sitting there in Freakier Friday was like a religious experience. Devil Wears Prada 2 promises to be much of the same this year. So go ahead, Jerry Bruckheimer, do it up for National Treasure 3. That would be fun. I have the quote here from to the direct. He said, "It's coming along quite well." So, I mean, he's taken a break out of his busy schedule of still counting the money from freaking Top Gun Maverick to grace us with an update.
Bruckheimer don't miss. I mean, well, he has missed, but you know what I mean. Like, he knows how to make money, and so.
I mean, Bad Boys for Life was great. That was so fun.
I'll speak for BD because I know BD loves those movies. I really enjoy them too, but I think BD is the biggest Bad Boys fan we have on the show.
I think so. And a deal in them are like I'm still waiting to see what else they're going to get to direct after that movie. I thought for sure they'd get one of these big projects at one of the big two, but that could still happen.
We'll see. BD asked the question in our notes, what do you want to see from this? And I'll tell you what I want to see. I want them to kill off John Voight so I don't have to watch him in this movie.
I mean, he did ask. He did ask exactly what we wanted.
No, it's honestly, like, just make it fun. Like, National Treasure doesn't have like certain other franchises where like we need to check all these boxes. As long as he is doing history buff things, and it's a good time, that's all I care about.
Just be better than like the last Now You See Me movie, I guess, which spiritually feels a lot like very similar. Like the two things are married in time to me. Like that's like for some reason we were all about heists, and still kind of are in certain moments, but definitely go as crazy as you want. Also, I don't know how much money you'd have to pay Nick Cage, but goes without saying he needs to be there too,
Well,
for whatever you do.
If they make a National Treasure 3 without Nick Cage, I will not be showing up. I'll tell you.
Crazy stuff happens all the time. I'd be like, man, just whatever he wants. A whole elephant. It's fine.
He wasn't in the show. They tried to make a show.
Oh, that's right. They did try to make a show. Oh my gosh, man. So you said that like, oh, there's no way. They already tried it once and it did not work. Right. So there you go.
Before we move on, Aaron, do you have any specific special extra thoughts about National Treasure 3?
I mean, there's another giant Disney globe-trotting adventure that people want to see that it seems like it might draw a little priority. Pirates thing seems like what they're trying to figure out now. So if we might be waiting a second for old National Treasure 3. That's the other thing I was thinking. I'm like, I don't know where this is. Somebody go ask Josh tomorrow how he feels about National Treasure. Maybe that'll give us an answer.
Yeah, good point. I really like the idea when they were going to make a Pirates movie with Margot Robbie, and it wasn't going to be but with the Birds of Prey writer and the Bumblebee writer, but that's not happening. So
no, that went out the window, and now I don't even know what's going on with that. I saw an update like 4 days ago, and I'm like, we're still talking about redoing Pirates. All right, man, sure, why not?
Never been the franchise for me, but you know what is the franchise for me?
Oh, what is it?
Marvel.
Oh, there you go.
We love a segue. There's some Marvel news, and of course, we are still on Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer watch. An official site for the movie has launched, driving speculation of its arrival. We talk about this every week. When do you think it's coming? Project Hail Mary?
I think Project Hail Mary is a good bet. Also, there was like a Kirkman, like a Jonathan Hickman comic today where he's writing Spidey and the Punisher and the Hulk, and it's wild. It's not set in the 616. And I'm like, if there are synergy comics making their way to social media for all of us to blather about, that trailer better be on its way. I hope it's with Project Hail Mary.
I'm excited for that. Like all the early reviews too. Like unlike Avatar, I will be seated for the Brand New Day trailer ahead of Project Hail Mary. I want to shout out Nick in the comments because Nick spotted me recently at the Academy Museum, and a great place to get recognized is at the Academy Museum. Really good place to boost your ego. So thank you, Nick. Glad you're here joining us live. Spider Noir, more Nick Cage news. Big day for me. This is actually why I'm hosting the show. Brandon and Jenna actually could have been here, but they were like, you know what? Let's have Jamie have the Nick Cage show. Apparently, according to Lord Miller, it could continue into season 2. They're promoting Project Hail Mary. It's all connected today, and they said this to Collider. I mean, this makes it feel like they're confident, right? In the show?
For sure.
Like, do you think it's going to be successful? I never know. I feel like you're the prophet. You have a better idea if it's going to be successful.
I have noticed that there was more excitement around this trailer reveal than I probably thought there would be, judging by a lot of the other Sony news that's happened since the last time we were all in front of a microphone. I feel like if they're confident, also, what a time to shoot your shot if you aren't, because apparently Project Hail Mary is fantastic. They're gonna have a lot of cachet coming into like whatever the next year and a half is between this and Beyond the Spider-Verse. So if they want to do more and Nick wants to do more, let them, because what we've seen so far has looked good. So it's good to get out in front of this now. See, look at us playing devil's advocate. We haven't seen a second of it besides what's in the trailers, and we're like, yeah, go ahead and give us season 2. That's fine.
It would have to be pretty bad for me to not love. They'd have to really screw up. You know what I mean? I have a lot of confidence. Um,
Yeah.
let's see. They're also talked a little bit of Beyond the Spider-Verse, which, oh gosh, we're missing it. Phil Lord said to Gizmodo, "We came upon a really wonderful notion, which is when your family is broken apart by your calling, your talents, how do you put them back together? How do you have it all?" I mean, what do you think of that quote?
Whew. I mean, so funny. This is the most substantive update on this movie that we've gotten in probably 6 months, at least from what I can remember. So that's interesting about, framing it as like, oh, Miles got his dream of being like Spider-Man, and that like drove all of his family apart or whatever. And how do you put it all back together? I feel like there are going to be some major feels for Beyond. Like between what Brian Tyree Henry said to me on the red carpet and then other things, I was like, oh Lord, who knows? Like, why do you want to hurt us so badly? Like the Spot is like the funniest villain. He is a joke. And I have a feeling he's going to do us immense emotional harm in this third one. So I'm already preparing myself for bad things to happen to our boy, unfortunately.
Oh, I know. It's like we've waited so long, but it's one of those that I'm like, I think it's going to be worth the wait.
Yeah, it's hard not to think that. I mean, like the first two, I know people have problems with the second one, the ending of the second one, but the first two have been such good movies that I'm like, you know what? Like, if it takes an extra year, so what? Like, we have to just deal with it, unfortunately. And it's not like it would have been better for it to be this summer now that we've looking out on what all comes out this summer. I'm like, oh God, like we talked about it a couple of weeks ago. Like one of these big movies is probably going to underperform because everything comes out in summer of 2026. Like it would be a weird position. So I'm hoping that the animators get the time they need to, have lives and not be stressed out about Spider-Man, not J. Jonah Jameson themselves. So I'm excited.
I unlike a lot of people, I don't mind a cliffhanger ending when we know we're getting another one. Like,
Yeah.
I'm still mad about the Old Guard too because I was like so into that cliffhanger ending, only to find out we weren't getting a third one, and like that's different. That's some BS. But when I know it's coming, I am willing to be patient. Like, I'd rather have a good movie than a rushed movie. Bring it on.
Yeah, it's gonna definitely they've taken their time. I mean, that's gonna be appointment viewing. Whenever we know that there's going to be a trailer for that movie, that's gonna feel like a massive event because it's been what almost 3 years now, right?
Oh, I don't know. Time. It's three?
Time.
Really? That's crazy. That feels
It
wrong, but you're
feels
probably
like
right.
it. It feels like it for sure.
Mm.
Wait, Monty's like, we're not getting a third old guard. Time to riot. I'm sorry to break the news to you.
I don't know if they're making fun of me or if they really feel that way, but I love those movies. But what can you do? Chat, tell us how you feel about waiting for the new Spider-Verse. Let us know. Also, people are joining in later. Hello, I'm sorry you don't have Brandon and Jenna, but Aaron and I are having fun with you guys today. Do you have any final words about Spider-Verse, Aaron?
We will wait. I've waited longer for the Young Avengers and Spider-Verse. You think you could rattle me? I've become a professional waiter by now. I've been waiting for forever. And Stamina's got your back on the ending because the film was solid,
Yeah,
So
exactly.
there we go. Hey, Chris.
Oh, loving this chat, loving you guys. We got some Avengers Doomsday quotes from Mr. David Harbour. He spoke to ET and said, "I'm building sort of a brotherhood with my boys, the Winter Soldier and also with Wyatt Russell, and I like that bromance between the three of us." Yeah, sure.
Everything that you've heard about this movie has been like encouraging, and like everything that people say they want out of these Avengers team ups, it seems like it's happening too. Like the characters interacting that you feel like should have had more interaction or met each other by now. All that stuff is super encouraging to hear because I've thought about it. Like, there's a lot of like Thunderbolts had a lot of people with shields. This movie has even more people with shields. I expect good things.
Well, it's funny because he just listed his friends from the last movie.
Right, exactly. He's like, oh yeah,
he's
my
playing
boys.
it really safe.
I know that whoever, I don't know who else has press for the rest of the summer. I'm guessing half the cast because so many freaking people in this movie. It's like this in the Odyssey. It's like just a procession. It's an escalator from Hollywood of everybody. But I'm sure someone's like, please, Lord, don't say anything. Like, thank God Alfred Molina's not in this movie, or is he?
Maybe. Oh, that would be nice actually. He also told ET that Alexei and Yelena have a lot of beautiful stuff in the movie, which is great. I love their relationship. And I hope that a movie cram packed with so many people, so many characters, like give me the feels, which they succeeded in Endgame, obviously. So
Yeah.
I have faith that they will do that this time around.
They really are laying on the emotionality of this movie really thick. I mean, I know you don't do video games, but there was like a Marvel Rivals like presentation like 2 days ago where they're like, we're just gonna we're gonna do beats that echo all the Avengers movies in a row until we get to Doomsday, and then there's special Doomsday stuff. So I'm like, man, everybody's gonna have so much Avengers nostalgia by the time we get to December. It's going to be hard to deny it. And also, we need to have Brandon and Jenna along so that they can play through the Age of Ultron scenarios and have Jamie sit there and be like, is it right or not?
Yeah.
Who's going to get the
wait, no,
Coulson?
finish it. Yeah.
No, is that
Oh,
who's going to get the Phil Coulson treatment in Doomsday? I hope nobody. I hope not.
I hope Phil Coulson and that Clark Gregg is in this movie. That's obviously like, if I could dream somebody out there, give me more Coulson. But I hope that, but somebody's gonna die. That's just that's the way it goes. I'd be surprised if everyone came out of this movie unscathed.
It's not looking good right now. It's not feeling like a lot of people are going to survive. It's so funny not to be on parts of social media. I'm sure that there's like people being like, this is what happens. I don't know. I'm ready to just be hurt. I want to go in there completely unknown and just be hurt by it all.
Yeah.
Dying is Coulson's thing, Monty says. I mean,
it's true. He died quite a few times on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's just a fact. And we love that. Good for him. He keeps coming back. Super strong.
Him and Patrick Stewart just trading tips on, hey man, so when you die, you got to do this.
A couple other things from David Harbour. He really talked a lot. He said that the movie is just the biggest thing ever. I mean, yeah, what a safe thing to say. Of course it is.
Absolutely, as it should be.
And then the last thing, he said he's going back for reshoots soon, which isn't surprising. I know reshoots is kind of like an alarm bell for some people, but it's just the way movies work.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be shocked with a movie of this cast and this size, all the stuff riding on it. They were always going to go back for reshoots. My question is, what the heck are the reshoots for? That's probably more interesting than anything else. We don't really know that. So when the, not even Atlanta, but the Atlanta filming people, but like whoever gets photos of people going back or Goofy playing track, what stage of fandom we're at now, I welcome the hype.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of hype, I know that everyone was mad at me for putting it lower on my hype ranking, but I want everyone to know that I'm working hard to get hyped up. I'm watching a Marvel movie a week to get myself going, and the last one was Iron Man 2. I got my Justin Hammer fix. I love that. So I'm putting in the work to get hyped for this movie.
And you started at the right time, because you would need to start right now to get through everything by the time December. You had to start right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
100%.
Oh my gosh, it's so crazy. I don't know. It's still crazy. This movie is coming out in real, Jamie. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. We're going to move on from Marvel here in a minute. So before we stop the Marvel talk, anything else from you from the chat?
I'm just wondering, does anybody else somebody asked about Daredevil Born Again, Jamie. How a sore topic. Does anybody else have anything for, a Doomsday before we move on?
I haven't finished Daredevil yet, but I did watch all of Ted season 1 this week. Loved it. Really good show. Really into Ted. So it's not that I don't have time. It's just that I keep forgetting.
It's all right. One day, people are just gonna keep the bit alive.
Before season 2, it's inevitable.
Season 2, which I don't know. Don't you have a couple months? It's probably a couple months from now, right?
Exactly. I could do it the day of if I wanted to.
Day of. If you come on to the day of and you're finishing up the episode while we're in the
It's
meeting,
like
I will laugh so hard, I swear. Um, she'll get there, folks. She'll get there. But we're gonna switch gears over to DC now. A lot of you probably saw today that there was a trailer. There was a teaser trailer announcement, and then a little bit later, the actual trailer manifested itself. Thank you, James Gunn. Making filling out the rundown way easier for all of us. Sending Jenna into a frenzy, I'm sure, to react and figure out what's going on. So we've now seen the trailer for Lanterns. You've got freaking it's just when people were saying that this was True Detective, but with Green Lanterns, I did not believe that it was actually just going to be like True Detective, but with Green Lanterns. Jamie, you just saw the trailer for the first time, within the last hour? What did you
within the
think?
last 30 minutes. Like it was
Within the
like
last
2
30
minutes before the
minutes.
stream was going. I popped it on. Yeah. I have to say, I'm so sad that Jenna is not here. We're gonna have to talk about this again next week because like obviously, I Lanterns, that is a section of the world universe that I'm like not super well versed in, and I can only comment on this trailer as a TV fan and as a general DC fan. So don't worry, the experts will be coming. Everybody.
Yeah. I mean, if you like the whole like Hal Jordan, John Stewart back and forth in the comics, it seems like this dynamic that they've landed on where an old grizzled veteran is showing a younger guy the ropes and they aren't completely on the same page with each other. That is a nice durable TV concept. I mean, I know I see a lot of people in the comments going brown lanterns, mud lanterns, but maybe it's not all color corrected. We'll see. I remember before Superman came out, there was a bunch of people complaining about the suit. And then we got into the movie and the suit looked great. So I don't know. You know what? I'm willing to hear it out. I'm still very happy that this show managed to survive all of these different weird shifts over at Warner Brothers and like actually become a thing. That seems like good because I've waited for a Green Lantern thing forever. Like I'm trying to think about like when did they announce the other one? I forget. It had to be almost 5-6 years ago.
A minute for sure.
Gotta be. So, we have, you go into it. You have very not little Green Lantern action, but like just teases mostly. Like you see the rings a couple times, Hal flies for a little bit. Friggin' John has a lantern at one point, and I was like, well, there, said the thing. There we go. No notes. And of course, you see the suit, which has caused so much conversation online. I'm thinking we're drawing off of probably Earth One for the Green Lantern suit design, which is a little bit more militaristic, a little bit more down to earth, grounded, which is what like I guess the show is really aiming for, as you can see from the trailer. But I mean, what we got is a mystery, and Jamie Drack loves season 1 of True Detective.
Yeah, it's funny because we talked on the phone earlier today, and you said it's kind of like True Detective, and I went, okay, that first season of True Detective was great, but then I talked to Tony, and Tony goes, no, it looks like Yellowstone, and I was like, oh, that he said that with some disdain, and so I was like, oh, let me see for myself, and I do think it looks way more like True Detective. I think he was being a little extra salty, but I think it was a little drab for me, not necessarily just in the color grading. I was trying to imagine if I'm just like a regular Joe who has no idea that this show is even happening, like does not follow comic book news, and stumbles upon this trailer, and it's just like seems kind of like a True Detective, and then all of a sudden Kyle Chandler's flying. I think that's hilarious. Like that you really don't know what this is until Kyle Chandler flies, and then it's like, whoa. And I think that's pretty fun, but I kind of assumed it would be a little more of a fun vibe. And if it's not, that's okay. And I just have to adjust the expectations that I personally had. I think when I think Green Lantern, I just think a little bit more, colorful. And maybe it's just the green. Maybe it's because of that. But I'm like, I didn't love the trailer, but I also didn't hate it in terms of, again, I'm just coming from a TV watching perspective. I'm certainly going to watch it.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is like the serious jaunts, they aren't usually my bag, but I have waited like I think it was Nick in the comments said like forever for freaking Green Lantern, anything in TV that wasn't the animated show, which I enjoyed quite a bit when I was in college. And also there these we got spoiled too because you get Guy as the first Green Lantern in this DCU, and he's so colorful, he's so much that anybody else that you introduced that was a human Green Lantern, let's say, was going to feel a little bit more subdued compared to Nathan Fillion just going for it. So that is
Drinking
going
milk
to be
and
interesting.
eating cereal at the same time, which remains the most
God,
lunatic
deranged.
behavior I've ever seen anyone do.
It's gonna be interesting to see how the week by week on this goes. I am fascinated because the central mystery, they didn't give us much of actually what's going on or anything at all. Like it's just like more about the two of them getting along and like understanding each other and sort of forging that relationship. And I'm here for that. I mean, Aaron Pierre, shout out to, keep the train rolling for him and Kyle Chandler. They bouncing off each other great. You know what I mean? But I do, when I think Green Lantern, growing up and sort of reading those late 2000s comics, they are insane. Like, Jeff Johns was doing wild things with the characters. So it's like this is about as far away from that in some ways as we can get, but that's not a bad thing.
I do appreciate the idea of like having different tones throughout this universe, throughout the DCU stuff, and like just we can get a little wacky, we can get a little serious. I do like that. I just was surprised that for this one in particular, but I think Kyle and Aaron are going to be great though. I think that's a really good pairing. I think they're both really talented people and people that I want to watch on my screens.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll keep tabs on it. I'm sure if you're looking for a wild breakdown, go read some comics with Jenna. I know she is grinding as we speak to get that bad boy out, and it will answer a ton of fun Green Lantern lore and questions for all of you whenever we get it. Now, on to something that is probably the most unexpected thing on this rundown, which is Zack Snyder talking about DC universe and possibly doing some other stuff and bringing stuff back, and reacted to James Gunn Superman. So he was on Happy Sad Confused with Josh Horowitz. Shout out to Josh, delightful. And of course, had to talk about what's been going on in DCU so far. Snyder said James is singular in his storytelling and his ability to channel mythological and pop culture into what I would consider just iconic and very particular point of view that's both poignant and funny, which I think is kind of all of our read of like James Gunn's whole view as well, So like no disagreements with them there, right, Jay?
Yeah, I don't know. It's funny that like the fans try to like pit these two guys against each other because like they were working together back in 2004. Like I've said it a million times and I'll say it again. I think Zack Snyder's best film is his Dawn of the Dead remake, which was written by James Gunn. So I just like, what's he gonna get up there and be like, oh, F this guy. Obviously they have different styles, but I personally have always vibed more with Gunn style, and I respect Snyder for being nice about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because we get, like fans get really invested in this, like, this is like a power struggle, blah, blah, blah. And meanwhile, these two dudes are just like hanging out. You know what I mean? It's more similar to that goofy Rick and Morty episode that we'd all probably care to admit, where they're just like, oh, yeah, I mean, that's just Zach and that's just James. They're just dudes that both like these characters a ton. You know what I mean? So I didn't have any real issue or sort of like, yeah, it's about the read on James Gunn I'd expect from a fellow filmmaker, a peer. But when they asked about Superman, he's like, James is Superman, which is amazing, and I think all the best of them, and I can't wait to see that next movie. So he'll be there day one for Man of Tomorrow, like the rest of us. Like I said, like you said, they really are friends. You think about this, like it's a 20-year friendship and working relationship in some capacity. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
that's nice
they have
to
respect each other at least.
Right. Absolutely. And On the third point, he's talking, of course, people were talking about Justice League Part 2 and 3 and possibly making them animated. We got to do it. We've absolutely talked about it quite a bit. We live in a world where all that's possible in whatever form it would take. I just because we live in such unprecedented times, I'm just going to say nothing's impossible. I would never say impossible to anything anymore, but it would be interesting to like be like out of nowhere. Could you imagine them like striding on stage like Comic-Con and being like, we're doing Justice League Part 2 and Part 3 animated, and just the ripple it would send through it would be wild. But I don't know if that happens. I think James is busy.
Let it die. I don't know. I just like I'm so, like this getting the Snyder cut was such a gift to those fans. Like I still can't like that. That's crazy that they got that, and it was what a nice thing. What a nice treat. And I think that we should close that chapter now. That's how I feel about it.
All I can remember is how wild of a day at work it was when like they were like, yo, they're actually doing the Snyder cut. Like it actually is happening. And I was like, first I thought jail cell Jim Viscardi was pranking us in Slack. I thought he was just being funny because, you know, he's a little goblin. But it really was real. And it was surreal. And other than the Daredevil fans getting Daredevil born again and almost everybody coming back, it is the single biggest moment of the fans agitating and getting what they want in recent media history, I feel like. So I dare I say, are you going to win a lottery ticket from the same corner store? I don't know, but it could happen. It sure could.
It's possible. Like you said, you just don't know anymore. Unprecedented times. And they're only getting more unprecedented.
It's so true. All right. To get us back towards more of normalcy, James Gunn on Threads talking about Man of Tomorrow. Like, you know, you love him because he just gives us the updates. He just helps us out. People were saying that Man of Tomorrow is inspired by Panic in the Sky. And he's like, no, it is not directly inspired by that comic, that book. So James said, I read almost every Brainiac story to put Brainiac and Man of Tomorrow together and use bits and pieces I thought worked best. But Panic in the Sky wasn't a key influence on the story. For context on the book, we got, I don't know who wrote this. It probably is Jenna or Brandon, one of the two of you. Thank you.
It was one of them. It wasn't me.
Superman, Panic in the Sky is an 8-part crossover storyline that ran through all 4 monthly Superman titles between February and April 1992. Wow, great year, great vintage. Brainiac seizes control of the War World, which is the massive satellite planet formerly ruled by Mongol, and uses it to initiate a full-scale revenge-fueled invasion of Earth. To combat this, Superman leads a large coalition of DC heroes in a preemptive strike in space. And it also, there's like a little strand of it in a Justice League Unlimited episode called, I think it's called Panic in the Sky. Like, yeah, like it's like the same sort of deal, but it's a watchtower instead of War World. Which I could see why people would think that maybe that would be an inspiration for Man of Tomorrow because of the ending of Peacemaker season 2 and all this other fun stuff. But if James says it's not that, it probably isn't that. He hasn't really lied to us very much. Is that interesting to you that people were like, yo, it's this Brainiac story, this specific one? And he's like, nah.
I mean, as much as sometimes I'm like, he's on social too much, I actually really respect that he's constantly shutting down Mr. Bebop Boobops, because like we actually need to shut down more Mr. Bebop Boobops, and James Gunn is like the king of that, and for that I am forever grateful to him. This sounds like a cool comic story, but it's not like you read it and I was like, oh, I'm so bummed that's not what we're getting. Like, I trust whatever he's planning to do with this character. I think it's a really fun character that I'm really excited to see come to life in live action, especially after seeing that actor's brief stint in Jay Kelly. I think that I'm excited to see what he's got. So, great.
There's plenty of time for Brainiac to throw something at Earth. We got time, folks. He'll do it at some point. And if it ain't him, it'll be another one of the villains, and we'll get Justice League or whatever we're calling them in the James Gunn universe assembling in this first incarnation. But it is interesting that he was like, nah, no, no, not that, just that one. I do think it's interesting though that he always finds ways to pull different comic pieces for these movies. And there's a lot of Brainiac. Like speaking to Jenna about it and asking some questions, I was like, dear God, the publishing history of this one villain, there's no way we're going to be able to predict what the heck this movie is about. And for that, I'm very thankful.
Does Jenna on her channel have like a Brainiac explainer? I would, it sounds like something she would have.
We're not gonna give her any extra work while she's doing the Lanterns thing, but yeah,
Excuse
Jen,
me,
if you
Jenna.
won't,
If you would like, I'd like you to do that for me, please. No.
yeah, like she's just in the suggestion box. Hey Jenna, when you got a minute? I don't think I don't know, she did Brainiac video when the announcement happened. It was from 4 months ago. You can go watch that if you want more Brainiac content from the professor. So there we go. We got Brainiac and we got Justice League Part 2 and 3 being animated, and James Gunn and Zack Snyder being buddies.
We got a hypothetical maybe one day that could possibly happen.
You have concepts of an animated feature film featuring Justice League Part 2 and 3. Do you have anything else for us DC wise, Jamie Drack? In fact, do you want to talk about your Poison Ivy and Harley piece of art that you've acquired?
I wish it was in this room right now, but BD sent me an amazing Harl Ivy print from Sideshow. Shout out, that was really sweet of him. I love BD, good allying. To be like, let me send my queer friend the queerest piece of art I can find. We really love that. Thank you, BD. That's really really nice of you. It's cool. I don't know where it's gonna go, but I believe it or not, I still have some wall space.
There's always time. And yes, for Michael, he did mention a squirrel lantern. Do you want to handicap the chance that we actually see any of the weird non-humanoid lanterns in this show? Because I gotta tell you, squirrel lantern does not fit with the rest of the vision of that what they've given us. I would be like, what is going on? Also,
that'd be cool though. I'm pro.
It would be dope.
I want it.
For us, we're like, yeah, like give me it. But like other people who are watching, like, oh, look at this grounded detective show, and then like a squirrel lantern comes out. That'd be wild.
I do want to add, like, maybe they could just be like peeling an onion for us, and like this first trailer is just to draw people in who is, and then maybe it's gonna blow out and get weirder. I don't know. Who could say?
That is a key tenet of some of the more recent Lantern Run stuff, where things start out like it's just a regular old police procedural, and then before we know it, there's 5 different color cores fighting each other on screen. That's probably not gonna happen in this show, but a squirrel lantern or some of the other non-humanoid, like, oh man, you know how hard I run out of the room if Kilowog like just turned up. It'd be wild. Also, I look at, like, let's see here, this T-Mac XM4331 said, like, thoughts on how Jordan saying he's the only human lantern, which is interesting because yeah, we already met Guy. Like, what?
Maybe he just doesn't know. That doesn't sound
I think
right.
that's it too.
Like, I don't know. Like, yeah, I guess maybe not.
Yeah. Also, I think because this happens, I'd love to get clarification, but I believe this happens like after or like right around Supergirl. So if it happens after Supergirl and we've already had Superman, like, Guy exists. Maybe he just like, Guy's such a clown. He's like, nah, he's not.
He doesn't count.
This pretender.
I do not claim him.
Right. Oh, we got, oh, wow. $2 for, is this I Am Two Fly Camp? Thank you for the $2. Thanks for the show. Do you think we go off world at all? And man, whoo.
I gotta say, I kind of assumed that would happen going into it, and then I saw the trailer and I was like, oh, maybe not. But he flew up there. Maybe he's just gonna keep flying to space.
Well, I think that is a part of the show. I was like, when stuff hits the fan, is he gonna go out there and try and get reinforcements or something or whatever? Because I could see, even though you want the budget to the project to balloon too much, a little bit of space might not hurt. A little controlled space
I love
might
space.
be good.
I'm pro space all the time, but But maybe that's a season 2 thing. You got to work your way to space. I would imagine that they are hoping to have more seasons. I don't know.
I feel like this would be like a lock if it's like if we're really doing True Detective, shoot, be having be two different lanterns every time. Um Splat into so Splat 2 Inc. asks if Sinestro's in the show, I gotta assume some space stuff happens, and I would too. And I don't know. That was one of the other things. I'm like, who in the world is the bad guy for this show? There's no Sinestro. It's just like mean law enforcement people, and I'm like, I don't know. I fail to think that that's going to be the end game here. But if Sinestro's in, yeah, for sure, I feel like that'd be cool.
Whatever this mystery they're solving can't just be like a human murder. Like there has to be some other element happening. Otherwise, why are they there? It's just they never mention. It's just that they can also fly.
Yeah. Oh man, you know how funny it would be if it was just a regular human murder. Like that's all it was. It was like, nah, it's just man, look, a guy died and we needed to work on it. He was important. Oh, Funko Pop's like it's Arrow, not Green Arrow, all over again. Listen, as someone who enjoyed a lot of the CW stuff, you ain't wrong, but I did have a good time. I did have a good time back in those days. Chris.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking to see if anybody else say anything. Everybody's like Sinestro's in here somewhere, and maybe he is. I remember some things being said, but like he's not in the trailer, so I don't know. I don't know what's going on. And then Chris asks if the show is in space, does well, and the budget increases, we're definitely getting space next time. And I think that's true too. I think 100%. It's not that hard to do. It ain't the CW years. We're not just gonna have episodes where it's just in a ship. We can actually do some of that stuff now.
Yeah, and I feel like the conversation of budgets is a good segue into our next topic. But before we do that, any final DC Lanterns words?
I mean, I'm just excited to see what else we got, and that I kind of agree with one of our commenters, like Splat again. Like, I feel like the trailer could all be from like episode 1 and 2, and then the rest of it could be completely different. It seems very contained, and I'm like, is it really gonna be just this? Because the other thing about True Detective is that it gets wild. Like, you spend a couple episodes where it's like this normal sort of mystery, and then everything goes sideways in unexpected ways. So that if we're doing that, that'd be great.
I haven't watched the first season of True Detective since it was on, and now I'm like kind of jonesing for it. That's a good season of television. Maybe I'll do that instead of watching Daredevil. I'll rewatch True Detective. Oh, all right. We're getting serious now because I feel like we can't. I feel like we can't not talk about this merger that's going on. Originally Netflix was going to buy Warner Brothers, but then Paramount swooped in and stole that bid. And there's a lot to talk about. I'm gonna hit some points first, and then I will lay it onto you, Aaron. I know that like a knee-jerk reaction for some people is that like Paramount is better than Netflix for movie theaters, and that might be true, but it's just such a small thing in the scheme of everything that Netflix losing this bid is bad for everybody, I think. Now I know that because we're Phase Hero, people want to know what we think is going to happen with DC, and I'm going to be honest, we have no idea. That's like before I move on to the next topic, I do want to just give you a chance, Aaron, to jump in on that one, because I feel like we have no idea. It might not affect DC at all. It might affect it greatly. Like I can't even pretend to know what's going to happen with DC.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow, gang. Like we wake up every day, and I'm like, "What's going on? What's happening?" I'm writing about, like the Apple event, and then something else crazy happens. I'm like, "Oh, that was weird." So anybody telling you that this is with 100% certainty, this is what's gonna happen, probably isn't to be trusted. Also, I just I worry about not just the movie theaters, but also the people who work around these projects to give us these big projects, to give us this stuff. I mean, the first people who usually get affected by these kind of mergers are the people who run the marketing and the social, which is how, when I was on the fan side of the fence, how I learned about everything. God bless them social managers who work at Marvel Studios and whatever else, and like Warner Brothers circa 2008 that was feeding me Christopher Nolan content like a conveyor belt. God bless. So yeah, I hope that everybody's okay, but it usually means when there's these kind of mergers that there is some, what is it, restructuring is how they always put it,
Yeah.
on the horizon. Yeah.
I have to be honest though, like I am not nearly as worried about that aspect of like the creativity side that I am about just like the greater implications, because the Ellisons own Paramount and they already control CBS News, they control TikTok, and now they're going to have control of CNN. And the Ellisons are really buddy buddy with Trump, and I personally am terrified of state-run media, and I worry that when the same company owns all of the news outlets, it's different for us. We're a little younger, we know how to seek out sources, but like think about our parents, they just watch what's on the TV. And even if you hate CNN or whatever, the idea of having the same giant rich billionaires running all the news is scary. It's scary.
It really is, like, so because like The Running Man came out probably a couple months ago, went back and rewatched like the old one, and I'm like, this is so funny because like this was really biting like satire at the time, and now it feels like almost quaint. The same thing happens whenever I watch the old first RoboCop. I'm like, my man didn't go hard enough, and that's crazy because like what, like look at how over the top and silly all the satire about the future is. I mean, it did entire probably 2 sections on William H. Gibson's Neuromancer in school and stuff. So like we're not trending great, but also no. I mean, there's just I just don't know what's gonna happen. Like I was reading Mary Sue, shout out to Rachel Leishman, who writes for their site and like runs a good ship over there. And they were saying that like Netflix still had like the announcement of their like acquiring it up on the site the morning that all this happened. And so like everything's moving so fast that we're just jumping over like procedural things that still need to occur. So lock in, folks. We in this for at least the end of 26, if not longer than that, because it just takes so long. Also, even if it does go through, it takes so long to like really start doing things as well that I'm like, I don't know what's going to be going on the spring of 27. I have no idea. You know what I mean? That's post Avengers Doomsday. That's an eternity from now.
That's a different world.
What's going to happen? What's my life going to look like? No one knows.
It's also, I feel like, these types of things do take a while, but we're living in times where like no one's following the rules. And that makes me nervous. I've had people say to me, well, by the time this happens, we could have a different administration. And I'm like, yeah, if the rules continue to be followed, which I don't think is going to happen. So like, I will say it openly. This scares me. And I also want to bring up just the industry aspect, because you and I live in LA. We have such ties to the industry. We work in it. Our friends work in it, and it's really disheartening to see this amount of money go into something like this, because now Paramount is going to be at $79 billion in debt. All this money just so billionaires can like tennis ball back and forth controlling things, and Paramount had to pay $2.8 billion to Netflix as like a breakup fee for swooping in there, and like 2.8 billion is just like chump change to them, where meanwhile all of our friends in LA are like struggling to find work. The industry's struggling, and like no one that makes art is getting taken care of, so that these guys can just be so stinking rich, and it's disheartening.
Yeah, it was super weird. Like, I mean, for some of our fans, especially the ones that watch Brandon over at OVW and other places, like I like a wrestling. I like a wrestling here and there. And like at some point here, you're gonna try and save up to go to Mania in like whatever, because I think it's supposed to be in New Orleans. And then like Riyadh, Saudi Arabia came in and was like, no, it's not gonna be in New Orleans. It's gonna be over here. And I'm like, well, I guess I'm not going to Mania next year because I'm not wealthy, and that kind of stinks. And that makes me sad. Whenever stuff like that goes, I'm like, man, I really wish I could do some of the things like, my parents' generation took for granted, and anything that would aid in that kind of inequality kind of bites a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, it's sad. And I mean, you're right. We live here. Like, everybody we know like tries to work in this business or does already. And there's less jobs and there's less opportunity and less movies getting made too, which is not ideal. Although they are trying to like make it easier to film here in Los Angeles. But that aside, it is kind of a weird situation where we're like, what's gonna happen to everybody? And nobody knows. So,
Yeah, I don't want to be an alarmist and a doomsayer, but like we're kind of in that zone where we like it's the time to be a little alarmist. And I've said this on the show before, and I don't want to get on my horse every single episode, but I do think that I can only encourage people to start just being mindful of who you give your money to. I think that's us little people. It's the best thing we can do. And once Paramount merges with Warner Brothers, it's going to be tough. HBO and they already said HBO Max and Paramount Plus are merging. I've already canceled Paramount Plus for all the above reasons. So it's like, well, what's that going to mean? Am I not going to have HBO anymore? So it's like we're just trudging along here. Aaron. Do you have anything else to say about this before we try to end on a more positive note?
Even though I do free streaming and that's like my thing, if you love a show, a program, or whatever, and that is available to you on physical media, I would encourage you to start getting your ducks in a row to go ahead and get yourself your physical media collection. You need to get back to the 2000s because that might be a good idea. Just as a thing, because I've had so many different programs in this era, and Brandon's like the one who always like stands on this. So take a bow wherever you are, Brandon Davis, about like people taking things off streaming or shows disappearing or whatever during that weird time 2 years ago, which seems quaint now, where they were just taking things off for tax write-offs. That go start figuring it out. You know what I mean?
I just bought all of Twin Peaks, all of Frasier, all of Cheers, all on physical media, all on eBay, and it's not that expensive for an entire series. It's really not bad, and I'm grateful to have it. And like I'm a physical media person anyway, but I'm no longer. There are certain shows I don't own because they were available to me for so long, and I'm not. That mindset is gone. If you look this way, like I got a lot of TV. It's too far away, but I have a lot of TV, and I think that we should all, if you love it, consider it. But as one of the comments mentioned, only the first 5 seasons of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. are on Blu-ray or DVD. Season 6 and 7 were never released. And just Marvel, if you're listening, please release that. Please release those 2 seasons of physical media. I'm begging you. We need it, please.
Yes, I mean it's funny because in my huff when they were like taking things off, I went and got all of Justice League Unlimited, all of Batman the Brave and the Bold, and some other stuff from like Warner Brothers library, and got it on physical. And as I think it was, who is it in the comments that just said that? Oh, Sir Glenn, like all of Tubi acquiring all the CN shows, and I'm happy about that. But if they ever go off of Tubi for any reason, it is nice to have the backups. It is nice to have some sort of physical copy of it in case anything else happens. Yeah, look at that. We educated the people, learned about DC, learned about Marvel. They got Nicolas Cage. Like, what do you want?
You got Caged hard. I just watched The Surfer for the first time this week. Recommend a good newish Cage movie. Any Cage we can get. We were happy to get. I want to go back a little and just end on like kind of a more positive note. And oh wait, I lost it. Hold on. And shout out to I am to Flycam who gave us $2 earlier to ask us our favorite Lantern and favorite DC character overall. Thought that might be a nice answer that to end on a positive note.
Sure. Man, God, did it have to be green? Because Larfleeze came out when I was like in like late high school, early college, and I was like, this is so sick. He stinks. He's so funny. Like he's an Orange Lantern. Greed is what their Lantern Corps is powered by. It's one of the funnier things that ever happened. So yeah, I totally, if that ever happened, or Ego, or like so Mogo, I would lose my mind. I'd be like, what is happening here? So yes, I almost got the wrong planet. Look at that, so many planets. What about you,
Oh.
Jamie?
I've said it before. This is the corner of DC that I do not know much about. So I do not have an answer for this. I'm not going to pretend. I'm not going to lie. I'll tell you who it's not. It's not Guy, because I don't trust anybody drinking milk and eating cereal at the same time. So that's definitely not like one out. But I feel like I always go a little classic. So I feel like I'm gonna become a Hal girly for sure.
Okay, that makes
Mm.
sense. Connor Mullis wants to know what's our favorite flavor of spray paint. I like the blue ones, and because you pay $4.99, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna answer your question. Let's say like a clear, probably. I'd imagine.
I don't
I,
understand this question.
what's your favorite flavor of spray paint? If we had to, Jamie, what would you say? I'm joking. I'm like you paid your money, so I'm gonna answer your question.
Oh gosh. And then we were also asked our favorite DC character overall. So let's answer that and then say our goodbyes.
Oh God. DC character overall is wild. There's so many friggin' characters.
Big question.
God. You know what? I got a soft spot for Dick Grayson. Like
Okay.
he's such a goober. He's so funny. He's a nice guy. I like the spy stuff. I like when he's there with Bruce. I adore Grant Morrison's Batman and Robin from that same era we're talking about. That was good eating right there. Batman Inc. Batman and Robin era of Batman run. Delightful.
Connor, we cannot keep answering these questions, but thank you for the $4.99. We appreciate you. And giraffes are my favorite animals. So, my favorite DC character is, of course, Harley Quinn. Like,
It is.
that's not a very interesting answer. It used to be Poison Ivy, and now it's Harley Quinn, and so they really did me good by putting them together. Even though they're in an open relationship in the comics now. Yeah, tell us your favorites in the comments. We've got some good answers. Love to see it. This has been so fun. I missed you, Brandon and Jenna, but I love you, Aaron, and it's been so enjoyable. I just want to shout out BD, the channel. He's got some great interviews and stuff going on. So go subscribe, check it all out. Go read some comics with Jenna. Follow her channel. I'm sure she's going to have a Lanterns reaction up pretty soon. And Aaron, where can the people find you?
Oh, it's at How to Watch Free TV. I've got some interviews up with Crunchyroll coming up tomorrow. I think on my channel, How to Watch Free TV. I talked to Adam MacArthur, and then from JJK, from Jujutsu Kaisen, I talked to Freerin, their cast for season 2. That was really great. And Sins to Be a Hero. So there's all there. And man, oh man, I guess what, like next week, Brandon's got Louis Tan on the show for Brandon Davis show. So I'm looking forward to that and of course Kirkman. And also if you're wanting to see original movies, if you care so much about original movies, I am going to probably go and see Hoppers this weekend because everybody says that's really good. So I'm encouraging people we keep saying we want original things. I'd like to see some of these original movies do well so that studios feel compelled to do that.
100%. And go check out the Oscars are coming up. Check out the nominations. It's a really good year. It's a really stacked year. Thank you, Chris, for that $10. We really appreciate you. Aaron, go listen to Aaron on Free Space. And listen to me on Loving the Time of Hydra. Leto comes back this Sunday. We're back talking about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm working on getting an exciting guest, not locked in yet, but might be looking good. So keep an eye out on our socials at LetoPod to find out who it's going to be. If we do get this guest, they're exciting for S.H.I.E.L.D., but also just like a cool person in general. So that's pretty exciting. Leave 5-star reviews on our podcast. It's really helpful for us, and we really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody in the chat who joined us live, and thank you for everybody who is listening later. We really appreciate you. As Brandon would say, play the pod for your dad, play it for your cat, and have a great rest of your day. Do we end it?
We do.